Hi there, all you real estate agents. I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of therealtyclassroom.com, with this week's real estate agent coaching and training tip. So while working on my listing presentation the other day with my elite mastermind coaching group, I tried to remain focused on this strong emotional connection that we all have to customer experience. Now, this is not to be confused with customer service, which we feel is what gets delivered at many times throughout the overall experience of helping somebody buy or sell a home. This also reminded me of the anecdote about how Albert Einstein actually envisioned himself traveling along a beam of light in order to see things in their entirety so that he could develop his theory of relativity. For me, I actually envision myself traveling along the path of the person that is experiencing the Griffin Realty Group while they buy or sell, all the way from lead inception to close client and beyond. Along that way, there are, of course, the main stages that serve as really the foundational belief system for the teaching right here at the Realty Classroom. You go through marketing, database, phones, presentations, sales, and the closing process. Now, in that framework, the presentation stage is a critical junction where a prospect can be upgraded to a client and therefore merits serious attention. So let's set the stage for the typical real estate agent at this point in the experience. After all the hard work to find and then nurture that relationship, it's now the point where the agent must clearly articulate why they should be the choice. First, those that aren't prepared to formally demonstrate why they should be chosen, I'm going to suggest that you take this business much more seriously. For those who do give it a real effort, let me challenge you today with a few questions. What's most important? How you help the consumer buy or sell, or what they think is important about the process? Before the discussion continues, notice that I asked you what's most important. Clearly, both are critical. However, what I've noticed has changed in my overall approach over the years is a definite heavier weighting towards what matters most to the consumer. Now, for our company, we have a very clear strategic plan that we follow with every client. The reason is that all buyers and sellers have to pass through the very same stages in the process of home buying or home selling, whether they're first-time home buyers, luxury, veterans, rookies. However, they are all very unique in their perspective of how they want to experience that process. So, back to my friend Einstein. If he were to take us along that beam of light, perhaps before we begin, he might ask, what's most important to you before we begin this journey? From there, rather than tell us all the detailed ins and outs of his genius brain along that journey and distract us, he could keep us focused on the experience we had outlined for him, in spite of the fact that the journey was quite similar for any that might travel along with him. Now, maybe this is even where our good friend Walt Disney learned that although walking through the park would be the same, the experience would always be unique. So here was my takeaway. Why not start your listing presentation, or buyer for that matter, with what's most important to you, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer, and after you're done explaining the plan you have, finish by asking, have we covered everything that's important to you? Get out there and try it, and you'll see what changes just like I did. P.S. Honorable mention for this one goes to my Realty Classroom Elite Mastermind group, and especially Danny Northcutt, who zeroed in on this. For all of them, your continued desire to deliver a better home buying and selling experience to the consumer is commendable. So, get out there this week. I'm Danny Griffin, challenging you to say, what's most important to the consumer? Shift your focus, work hard at it, and you're going to see a much better and effective listing presentation, buyer presentation, whatever it may be. But you're going to improve the entire experience, and that's why they'll want you. So remember, keep tuning in here, and I appreciate that you do. If you like these a lot, comment, but especially share them along with somebody else that might not be aware of them, and I would appreciate that. I'll see you next time.